or Tamils, Telugus, Bengalis, Hindi-speaking, Marathis. In the case of the minorities, appeal to them in the name of their religion. This is the typical political leader and the political party. And therefore, you promote vote bank politics. And it is because of that, it is a party which tries to avoid vote banks and thinks in terms of the whole country and the entire population belonging to India. They are told you are communal. You are doing this, you are anti-Muslim, you are anti-Christian. And whereas our approach is that whatever policies we adopt should benefit the whole country. Now for 60 years, it's mainly the Congress party which has been in office in India. And after 60 years, suddenly they set up committees. Why are the Muslims backward? Not because we were in power. If there is backwardness, it's because after partition, many of their leaders, many of those who really led them, they migrated. And subsequently, there has been neglect of education in the Muslim community.
But sir, the question once again, let me rephrase my question. Don't you think it's because of the misperception perhaps,
yes,
which the RSS has of the association, the close association which the BJP and the RSS have, because the Congress doesn't have something like the RSS. The Congress has the Congress, or perhaps the Gandhis, or whatever other sort of...
Doesn't matter. Even Gandhi was there, so Gandhi was a different type and Gandhi was closer to us than to anyone else. But Gandhi was the greatest influence on the Congress.
So
no doubt about it.
But you don't think the influence of the RSS is sometimes stifling of the BJP?
No. We have tried to function in the political field in a manner as to take our own decisions, take an independent assessment of the situation, and by and large, we've succeeded.
We have to take a short break here. We're with Advani. You are watching TalkBack. Stay tuned. Welcome back to TalkBack. We are with Advani. All right, let's talk about Gujarat for a second, because we have to touch base on that. So, when it comes to Gujarat, this is one thing which we've picked up when it comes to BJP politicians talking. Post-Godhra riots. This is the event, this is a landmark event, it's a sad day in the subcontinent's history, but everything is referred to, whatever the killings which happened, are referred to as post-Godhra killings, post-Godhra riots. It seems as if that there's a action-reaction logic, that Godhra happened and then everything else happened. It seems almost that there is a logic that there was the killings on the train and then everything else subsequently happened. It seems as if almost, sir, that there is a reasoning behind the killing. Is that true?
Now, Wajahat, I do not know how familiar you are with the history of riots in India. I do not know. But I can tell you that I have followed communal riots in India since 1947. Furthermore, in terms of recent happenings, if Gujarat was a horrible event and indefensible, innocent people being killed, whether Hindus or Muslims, whether it is a reaction or not, it's wrong, indefensible. But in recent times, while there was this Gujarat episode, ugly episode, there was an equally ugly episode in the capital of Delhi in 1984. And if only you were to compare this, you would realize how horrible 1984 was. That was also a reaction. It was just as post-Godhra riots in Gujarat. Similarly, post Mrs. Gandhi's assassination, they were not riots. What happened in Delhi, there was not a single Hindu killed. It was just 6. 3,506 killed in 4-5 days only. Only because Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated. And then from the Congress side, it was publicly said, oh, so what? After all, when a huge tree breaks, falls, the earth is bound to shake. This was an official rationalization of that incident. Not like statements like I made in the house or Vajpayee said in public that this is shameful. How can it happen? How can we say our absolutely blemish-free record in the matter of communal harmony has been sullied by what has happened in Gujarat. And here it was justified, 3,506 killed. No one talks about that. Everyone talks about Gujarat the world over. World over. Wherever I go, I have this to answer. And I answer it. And no one has to answer for what happened in Delhi, what happened to the Sikhs, 3,500 people burnt alive practically. And not one single lathi charge by the police. Whereas when I quote the firing that took place in Gujarat, in which 200 rioters were killed, both Hindus and Muslims, how can I find fault with the government there? The government, true, to that extent everyone is fault. But not this what happened here. This kind of comparison when I make, I am bound to say that this is not fair. This is not fair to the Gujarat government. And therefore I defended it.
So you don't think you've lost by associations with Modi?
No, not at all. Not at all. In a way,
despite of the impression the man has.
Why is it that only recently, with a high profile campaign against the Gujarat government and media, Congress party, all other parties apart from the BJP, and yet a triumphant victory for the Gujarat government, for BJP in Gujarat. It's not, it's because the people in Gujarat are familiar with what happened. And the people in Delhi are equally familiar with what happened here. And so it is that...
But sir, let's just get back to the earlier point. I understand your point. But with all due respect, when L.K. Advani says post-Gojra riots, not Gujarat killings, not any other term, when he says post-Gojra riots, once again I'm going to repeat my question. Isn't there this action-reaction logic that Godhra happened, thus everything else happened?
To some extent it is true. To some extent it is true that because
But as a national leader, you're almost reasoning for the killing.
Mrs. Gandhi's killing triggered off that. But the failure in Delhi is that the government watched it, not only watched it passively, but justified it by that famous statement.
You might have, you call Gujarat indefensible, but you are so close to Mr. Narendra Modi. You are so
because
close.
I have seen him. I have seen him as an excellent administrator,
But sir, people
as
say,
an excellent chief minister. You malign anyone. That way, what the kind of image that...
But people judge you by the company you keep.
Yeah, yes, why judge me by the company I keeps? The kind of image that has been given to Modi, has it not been given to me for all decades? Am I not supposed to be as bad as Modi? And suddenly people discover some good in me and say, why are you having a company like that of Modi? I am having a company like that of Modi because I feel that Modi has not done anything wrong in so far as the riots are concerned. But he has served Gujarat so well, that the common man in Gujarat would tell you that for many, many years we haven't had a chief minister like him. And under him, Gujarat has already become practically the #1 state in the whole